I was asked to participate in a project whose goal is to eliminate landing overrun accidents at short runway airports. Short being defined as 3,000 foot or less. The brainchild of this project, John Kutcher, is a chief pilot and designated pilot examiner in the Baltimore, Maryland area. We at Aviation Safety Videos are proud to be a part of this group. I was excited to participate on a personal level because when I fly in and out of the 1,840-foot strip at Clearview Airport, I often ask myself, as the pavement whooshes by underneath, how much runway is behind me? Do I really have enough runway ahead to land and stop? And the worst question of all, can I still do a go-around without hitting the trees ahead? You can see an aerial shot of Clearview behind me. With winds typically from the northwest through southwest, runway 32 has an actual landing distance of 1,562 feet beyond the displaced threshold. Add to that a 2-degree downslope, 47-foot trees 200 foot from the departure end, and 52-foot trees on the approach end, and you can see that this scenario presents some real challenges for the average GA pilot. According to my Grumman Tiger POH, at mid-weight, on a 68-degree day over the 50-foot trees on approach, I need 1,287 feet. Not much margin for error. In fact, in February of this year, a Cessna 182 skidded the last 330 feet of the runway, then 75 feet in the grass before nosing over. Talking with John Frank of the Cessna Pilots Association, a Cessna 182S at mid-weight on a 68-degree day over the 50-foot trees on approach needs 1,400 foot of available distance. Again, not much margin for error. John Kutcher's solution to this problem is elegant in its simplicity. It's a kind of idea where we'll all go, hey, why didn't I think of that? This video will help define the problem as well as demonstrate the proposed solution. When landing, most pilots would agree that their primary focus is on directional control, speed, sink rate, and flare height. Rapidly assimilating all this information causes a sort of tunnel vision focused on the general touchdown area of the runway as shown by our landing mask. It is only after the aircraft is on the ground under control that our focus shifts to stopping. AOPA's Air Safety Foundation did a quick analysis of accidents from 1999 through 2008. Light, fixed-wing, general aviation airplanes were involved in 308 long-landing accidents, or an average of about 2.5 a month. 11 accidents were fatal, killing a total of 15 people, and another 25 accidents caused 32 serious injuries. The cost in both human tragedy and aircraft was significant. The problem may be even greater than statistics indicate, as we are aware of a number of overruns that were never reported to the FAA, as shown here, where the airplane was quickly removed and the only remaining evidence was tire tracks. On approach, according to the FAA's Airplane Flying Handbook, the descent angle should be controlled throughout the approach so that the airplane will land in the center of the first third of the runway. If a landing cannot be made in the first third of the runway, the pilot should execute a go-around. However, no method currently exists for a pilot to quickly and easily determine when that first third of the runway is behind them. Should I land or go around? It would be nice if we could freeze the action and carefully consider our options, but we can't. Sometimes the decision has to be made in a split second with insufficient information, which can and sometimes will result in an accident. So what's the solution? For flight operations on short runways, we need standardized runway markings which clearly identify the end of the first third of the runway and thus clearly identify the go-around decision point, or GDP. This GDP would automatically trigger a rejected landing and thus prevent a potential runway overrun mishap. We filmed this project at Lee in Annapolis, Maryland, because temporary markings are in place and depicted as orange triangles. In practical application, as I approach the runway on short final, aiming for the first third of the runway, I find myself high and fast. I would normally ask myself, should I land or go around? As I continue my descent, I see the GDP markings ahead, and clearly I will not be able to land in the first third of the runway, so I immediately initiate a go-around. No questioning involved, just an automatic reaction to the go-around decision point marking. Sometime soon, a GDP committee will meet with the FAA at national headquarters in Washington, D.C. to propose implementing the GDP runway markings for our national airport system. This project is supported by AOPA, the Air Safety Foundation, EAA, and NAFI, the National Association of Flight Instructors. I like it because it's simple, it's inexpensive, and it's a real solution to the problem of runway overruns. John tells me that since being implemented at Lee, no pilot briefed on the system has had a runway overrun. The next time you're running late and need to get to the bank, please, please, please drive in, don't fly in. No one was hurt on this day, but if you want your airport closed down by the local community, endangering lives on the ground around an airport is a great way to start. Let's keep our airports open and safe, and let's keep our airplanes on the runways. Please feel free to email me comments or support for this project as we go to Washington, D.C. My email is on the contact page. For Aviation Safety Videos, I'm Bob Reed. Have a safe flight.